If you've ever found yourself trying to co-parent with a narcissistic individual, you will know just how frustrating, irritating and annoying it can be, how it can get you going, how it can wind you up, and how they carry that sort of smugness to them, yet play the victim in the reality that they created. And when you finally stand up to them, they get offended and they accuse you of being the toxic one that won't allow them to see their children or be around their children. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, it's a pattern of behaviour, and they do not co-parent, they counter-parent. They don't care for the damage that it causes to their children. They are self-entitled enough to believe that everything should just go their way, and anything that doesn't go their way, they go all out to blame and shame everybody else. They use Jennifer Freud's Darva, where they deny and attack and then reverse the roles of the victim and the offender. They believe they're entitled to do as they please, and you should just put up with it. And then they go all out to gaslight you and gaslight those around you whenever you don't. They go all out to lap up the sympathetic attention while scapegoating you, making you take the blame for the narcissist's lack of parenting skills, lack of taking responsibility for their own behaviour. They ignore their children, they let their children down, and then they get offended when they can't see their children. When narcissists counter-parent, they engage in so many behaviours that undermine the other parent's authority and attempts to co-parent effectively. This creates a significant stress and confusion for the other parents and for the children involved. And there are lots of different games that narcissistic individuals play to counter-parent. So when it comes to a narcissistic parent, they will undermine your authority. Narcissists often undermine the other parent's authority by disregarding the rules and the decisions, especially in front of the children. They want to tell the children that you're too strict, you're too rigid. This can involve contradicting the disciplinary actions or making decisions without consulting the other parent. So if one parent sets a bedtime routine so that the children can get the adequate amount of sleep that they require, the narcissist will always allow them to stop up late when they are with them, and then frame it that they're the fun parent and it's the other parent that's the issue. When it comes to dealing with this, one strategy to cope is to maintain consistent rules and communicate clearly with your children about the expectations and the consequences. Parallel parent, let the narcissistic parent do whatever it is they want to do at their house and explain to the children that that's fine, that's how they want to parent. However, at this house, it's more like this. And go all out, regardless of the narcissist's actions, to ignore them because they're looking to provoke that reaction. Document any instances where they undermine you for legal purposes. Manipulation and gaslighting. Narcissists manipulate and gaslight anyone and everyone involved, anyone and everyone around them, and they will manipulate and gaslight their children and their children's parent. They create that confusion and self-doubt. They might deny saying things or doing things and blame the other parent for problems. When it comes to narcissistic parents, they might tell their children that the other parent is lying about certain events, or it's the other parent's fault that the family unit is no longer together. They don't take into consideration, the narcissist doesn't take into consideration their deceitfulness, their lies, their cheating. They just take into consideration that the other party finally had enough and ended the relationship with them. Therefore, it's the other parent's fault. The narcissistic individual will repeatedly not show up for their children or turn up late for their children, regularly let their children down, and the healthy parent will put up with so much. They will tolerate so much until they can't tolerate so anymore. Yet whenever they don't show up for their children, they just simply shift the blame onto the other parent, to the children. Oh, it wasn't me, your mummy or your daddy wouldn't allow me to see you today. They beg to sort of have some sort of FaceTime with their children, and then, oh, I'm ever so sorry, I was busy. Repeatedly letting their children down. One way to deal with this is to keep all communication documented. Keep records of communication and events. Use written communication if possible, emails and messages, to have a clear record of what has been said and what has been agreed upon. Now, when it comes to a narcissist, you can't show them this record because they just accuse you of overreacting to the situation, of being obsessed, when you're looking to gather evidence in case you need it in a court of law due to their behaviour. They will go all out to sabotage parenting plans. You can have a stage where things seem to be going okay and they give you that false sense of security that everything's going to be fine, and you've got past that stage and now you can go parent and you can agree on a parenting plan, and then all of a sudden the narcissist will change that plan. They'll be intentionally late, they'll cancel a visitation at the last minute or not follow through with the arrangements, and then they will blame you and to the children as to why they've not followed through with the arrangements that more than likely they set up or they at least agreed to. Or you can ask them what they would like to do. They'll send you a plan. You'll just say yes for the easy life, and they'll still want to change it on you. They'll still find a way of saying that they have to work, even though you know full well they don't have to work. They're looking to disrupt your life as much as they possibly can. And when you pull out their parenting plan, they accuse you of being too rigid and too strict and boring. Now, they will change the plan on you time and time again, and if it suits, you might just say yes, fine, yes, fine, yes, fine. The second you say no, they're going to get offended. They're going to accuse you of being rigid and not willing to work through things with them. Their projection, basically. When it comes to a narcissistic individual, you have to document all instances of sabotage, all instances of them running late, them letting the children down, using parenting apps to schedule and track all exchanges and communication, using emails, using messages to have it all written, and seek legal advice if needed. Using the children as messengers or spies. Narcissists might use their own children to convey messages to the other parent, or to gather information about the other parent's activities or the other parent's whereabouts, creating that loyalty, conflict and stress for their children. They might ask the children to find out who the other parent is dating and where the other parent is spending their free time. One way to deal with this is by simply, depending on your children's age, explaining to the children that they should not be put in the middle of adult issues, and encourage open communication and reassure them that they don't have to take sides or deliver messages. Alienation and badmouthing. Now, alienation does get a bit of a bad rep. I believe it was Richard Gardner that termed the coin parental alienation, and parental alienation does exist. However, narcissistic individuals play Jennifer Frey's Darvo and switch it to use it to their advantage. So a narcissistic parent will go all out to alienate the children from the other parent, to badmouth the parent to the children. They will go all out to blame the other parent for why they're not allowed to see the children, creating that conflict, shifting all the blame onto the other parent to the children, and it creates that diversion. They will accuse the parent of not allowing to see them. They'll accuse the other parent of whatever it is that's going wrong, and they do create that conflict. Yet the second you stand up to a narcissistic individual, they switch the roles. They accuse you of the one that's alienating the children from them. You stop a narcissist from seeing their children, and they play the victim in the situation that they created and claim that you're now the one that's alienating the children from them. They make their bed, and then when they have to lie in it, they blame you for making it wrong. When it comes to a narcissist, they actively work to alienate the children from the other parent by bad-mouthing them, by creating negative perceptions and encouraging disrespect. They tell the children that the other parent doesn't love them, the other parent doesn't care about them. The other parent is responsible for why the family unit isn't together. They will tell the other children that if the other parent has another family, that child is now a burden. They will inform their own children of this. To counteract alienation, you have to remain positive and consistent in your parenting with your children and avoid bad-mouthing the narcissist in return, as this can further confuse and distress the children. Seek legal help if required. Inconsistent parenting. Narcissists may be highly inconsistent in their parenting. They will change between being overly lenient to their children to excessively strict, which destabilizes the children's sense of security and routine. They will allow their children to do whatever they want on one visit and then punish them for minor things the next. One way to help with this is by providing a stable and predictable environment in your own home. You cannot change the narcissist. You cannot change their home environment. All you can do is make sure that you provide a predictable and stable environment in your own home for your own children. Consistency in your rules and your routines to help counterbalance the instability that they're experiencing when they are with the narcissist. They will go all out to exploit legal systems and loopholes. Narcissists exploit the court system to gain advantage in custody battles or co-parenting arrangements. They are very good at playing the victim. They will file lawsuit after lawsuit. They will make false allegations. They will manipulate the court systems to their benefit. Not only do they make false allegations, they accuse your truths as being false allegations. You tell them what the narcissist is doing and the narcissist accuses you of lying and trying to alienate them from their children, which is why it's vital you have that written evidence to prove their inconsistency and their lies and their deceit. They will tangle themselves up in court. They will try and gaslight the judge. And the judge doesn't like this. The judge wants to be in charge of that courtroom and the narcissist wants to take over. They will accuse the other parent of neglect or abuse without evidence to gain full custody. They will usually accuse the other parent of doing exactly what the narcissist is doing themselves to their children. Work with knowledgeable lawyers and solicitors to protect your rights and your children's best interests. Document everything meticulously. Gather evidence to support your case. Be prepared to demonstrate the narcissist's patterns of manipulation and dishonesty in court. You are not calling them out in court. You are describing patterns of behaviour so the authorities can make their own judgment. Do not tell the authorities what to think or how to think. Have the evidence to show them, to allow them to make up their own judgment. Counterparenting with a narcissist is incredibly challenging and can have detrimental effects on both you and your children. However, by understanding these behaviours and employing some coping strategies, you can protect yourself and your children from the worst impacts of the narcissist manipulation. Maintaining a consistent, positive environment and open and honest communication with your children is absolutely vital, and seeking legal and professional support when necessary, and stay informed. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot come no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissist Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, how to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. And a new book to watch out for that's coming out in the next couple of weeks is going to be about some hilarious and sometimes horrifying memes and the meanings behind these memes when it comes to narcissistic and emotional abuse. The links for those will be in the video description if you'd like to go and check them out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.